Oh, you got the good glass back.
Yes, it's here.
Cheers.
Yeah. Got to be careful. I don't hold it over the computer because last time I did that, oh,
You dribbled? Uh-oh.
big time. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. How are you all doing? See you all coming into the room. That's great stuff.
Johan is here from the Viral Challenge. He's in the
Hi,
Viral
Johan.
Challenge this month.
Cool.
He's a good
How you
guy.
doing?
Chatting with him.
Cool.
He said
Yes.
nice things about me today, so I have to say nice things back. Do a glass giveaway, Johan says.
Okay, we can see people are dropping into the room. Can you all do me a favor? Can you just do, I just want to tech check. Can you type the letter Y or the word yes, just to signify you can hear us and you can see us okay. So that would be helpful.
Sorry.
Plus we can estimate, what are you saying sorry for?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Johan said there are two Johans. I'm not Johan. So the other Johan I was talking about. I'm sorry.
He's Johan too. There's a Johan 1 as well.
Thank you. Thank you all for commenting and letting us know, because
cheers for that.
On the back end, it's always a little nerve-wracking whether or not the audio is working correctly. Or the video.
Is this the player show or the co-pilot show?
He's talking about my shirt.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't see it. I don't know why I'm looking down like that, as if I can look over the top of my camera. Crazy. Okay, guys, we're going to kick off while people are entering the room. But I just need to let you know something. I'm expecting a phone call. My mobile's here. It is an urgent call. It's the doctor, so I have to take the call. So if I'm in mid-flow and the phone rings, Mitch will take over. Mitch will take over while I speak to my doctor. Cool. So, Mitch? Tell everyone what today's show is all about.
Today's show is.
You scared the life out of me, then, dude.
It's all about how to engage with your fans that you've just absorbed into your new world after the campaign is over.
Your list.
All
those lovely emails, names and email addresses that were put into your campaign. Yeah, this show, we've done something like this before, but as you remember, last week we spoke about engaging people while you're running a campaign. This one is going to be about how to engage people after you've run a campaign, because we've noticed that it seems that there are people out there who it's almost like, now I've built a list, what do I do with it?
Exactly.
It's a bit like that scene from the Batman film where the Joker's in the hospital and he says, I'm just I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught it. And it's the same thing here with a lot of people that we get asked this question all the time.
Yeah.
I've got this list. What do I do now? And ironically enough, it is not rocket science, but it is an art form that can quite easily, you can start doing it very, very quickly. So we're going to take you through some ideas and proposals. But before we kick that off, I actually want to share something with you, because this story was the inspiration for this training. And it was something, do you remember, Mitch, you shared a client who will remain nameless. We're not going to say his name or her name or the niche that this person is in. But this person has built a list, okay, of around 14,000. Okay. And I don't know whether you've got your handy slide there that shows people, statistically, for every person on your email list, it's roughly worth about $12 a year. Okay, so bear that in mind. And this person had built a list of 14,000 people. And you might think that's no big deal. But if we use that rule of thumb of $12 per year per person times 14,000, Does any of you want to take it, just type inside? It'd be great to get how many dollars that list of 14,000 is worth.
Really?
Because here's the really weird thing. We know that this guy's list is highly receptive to buying stuff. Yet here's the killer. How many times does he email his list in a year? What was it, Mitch?
When I first started talking to him, I asked him how many people he had on his list. At the time, it was about 7,000. And we added another 7,000 during the campaign. But at the time, I said, so how often do you email your list? He said, I don't actually know how to do that.
There you go.
And so I was stunned.
And there you go. Manjit has just hit it bang on. It's worth, that 14,000 list is worth $168,000 a year, and the guy was not emailing them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, that's why we wanted to talk to Mitch. So is there anything you want to kick off with yourself, Mitch, before
I do, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Go on, go for it, dude.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you over here, and I'm going to turn screen sharing on.
No worries.
And I just want to level set everybody back to what we're talking about, because we know that there are newbies here. We know there are people that are in the group that could probably teach this course or whatever. But I want to level set you. So in this, and this is in the resources, and I'll give you the link again later this afternoon, after this is over. The lead page, this is the UpViral process at the top. The lead page, when people sign up, they become UpViral leads. Then they're taken to the sharing page, which they start the viral loop to bring people into the top. And what we're talking about is the autoresponder sequence. So UpViral has the ability to connect the leads that come in to your autoresponder directly. You can also
this is
go through that.
This is separate from the emails we send out during the campaign.
Right.
Once someone puts their name and email address in, it comes into UpViral, and we can then shoot it to your autoresponder like MailChimp, Aweber, Drip, so on and so forth.
Correct. So in this diagram, the UpViral emails that Mark is talking about are coming out directly over here. We've talked about those before. They're the transactional things. Hey, you've signed up. Hey, you've gotten more points for signing somebody else up, etc. We've talked about those.
Yeah.
Last week and multiple other times. But we're also, if you set it up, connecting to your autoresponder. So that's why I showed them separately, because some people don't quite understand that the leads that are in UpViral can be in your autoresponder, or maybe they're not because you didn't do that connection, right? It's good to have them in your autoresponder because then you can send them other emails, which is what we're going to talk about this stuff today. You can send them to your sales page. You can send them nurturing emails and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to specifically identify that there's a difference between the UpViral emails and the autoresponder emails that you can send. And hopefully that makes a lot of sense, because that's what we're going to talk about down here today. That's today's stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Can you put us back to double scope? There we go. There we go. So if we now just boomerang back to what I was talking about before, now that we know there are two, there's campaign emails which UpViral sends for you during your campaign, and then we can take your leads and put them into your autoresponder, and that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about engaging people once the campaign is over. Now, again, to go back to that list of 10,000 people, which I quoted, I think, I just want to get a good feedback off people. Can you all tell me, give me a rough idea, type into, I'd love to know, how big is your current email list? If you haven't got any, just type a 0. If you don't know exactly, put your best guess. I'd love to know what your list is. Okay, I would love to know what your list size is. And I'm going to wait for some of this because I know there's a bit of a delay. Right, okay, some are coming through.
1250. Okay. Elke says 10, and that's perfectly okay. We're going to get you growing that list.
I
Don't
think
worry
that's
about
absolutely brilliant. The fact that she's got 10.
that. Bob's got 0.
Okay.
Steve, 400.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I can see. I'm not sure whether Pedro is 94,000 or 94. I'm not sure, but well, let's say he's got 94. Okay. Cool. So what I'm seeing here is there are people who actually want to obviously extend their list. That's the reason why we're here anyway, and the reason why you're probably using UpViral. So I would say that if we were to shoot, depending on what your list is, it wouldn't be great if you could have a list of 10,000 people. And I don't just mean a list of 10,000 people who, just a list, because a list of 10,000 people is no good. A list of 10,000 people who open your email, read your content, and click on it and engage with you, that is really good, because then you know that you've got 10,000 people. Cheers, Pedro, 94K. What you then have got is you have got a list of people who, because they are opening 10,000 people every single week, month, or whenever you fire an email out, what that is 10,000 people are ready to buy from you whenever you fire that bullet, because you've engaged with them. So let's just set ourselves a goal. I know some of you are in excess of 10,000, but the majority of you are under 10,000. If you was to set a goal that over the next 12 months, could be 6 months, it's purely you, but I'm just going to use 12 months as an example, because some people would want 12 months. If you want to do it in 6 months, you just accelerate what you do. Because if you was to get a list size of 10,000 over the next 12 months, that means this time next year, you would be walking into your second year with a potential income of $120,000 a year, 10 grand a month. Now, most people might actually think, well, a list of 10,000, that is just so big and huge, it's unbelievable. Well, it's actually not if we break it down. If you think about it, a 10,000 email list is 192 people subscribed or being added to your list a week. Or better still, it's only 27 a day. Now, all of a sudden, 27 a day, I can do that. Now, if you also consider how UpViral can accelerate that, if I was just talking to you about, I'm going to build your list in the old traditional way, it would still be a problem. But because UpViral can accelerate it, because it makes your list building go viral, it can really make that 10,000 happen in 12 months, 6 months, or even 4 months, 3 months, if you wish to do so. Now, you can, what I'm talking about here is sending out emails, but an email of a certain type to your list once you start building it. And what I'm talking about here is, most people, when they create an email list, the first thing that they want to do with it is send out an email, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy. Now, the problem with that is when all you do is send emails out saying buy, guess what happens to your email list? They go buy. Because so from BUY to BYE, that's what happens. Because don't forget, you got them in a soft way, which I consider UpViral to be. You need to engage them with them now. And what you do is you send value out. And I've got some examples of what I mean by sending value out. I'm just going to refer to my notes. So if I look like I'm gazing into the distance, it's my notes that I've got on my screen. And what I mean by value is, and you'll see this with us, we often send out what we call value emails. There is absolutely no buyer intention wrapped into it whatsoever. All we are doing is giving away value. Now, that value can take the shape of different things. And I've just wrote a few things down here from different niches as they just popped into my head today. For example, if you're run a gym or you're into fitness or something like that, it could be that you give away, the email has got value in it of a link to a YouTube video, a 5-minute abs video workout. So, your email will be, hey, thanks very much for entering my latest competition. Got some great things for you today. Just done this video for you, how to go a better ab workout. Hope you enjoy it. It's value. No, I'm not trying to sell anything. It could be 6 things to fix around the house that tradesmen would charge you $100. You know, if you're a and you're a plumber, I bet there are a lot, and I have got to tell you a real perfect story here. Something broke in my kitchen. Something broke. Okay, I couldn't light the hob. You know that you press the button, you go, and then it lights it. I couldn't for the life of me work out why the damn thing wasn't working. Anyway, this tradesman who I knew, he came round. I said, I'm not paying you. He said, no, it's no problem, no big deal. He said, oh, I know what's that. He got a screwdriver, undone two things, pulled something down, flipped the switch, put it back in. 2 minutes, he turned it on. He said, there you go, it's working. I said, how much would that have cost me if I'd have phoned you up to do? He said, $100 easily. So if you're doing, you could do something like that. Simple things. You know, if you're a tradesman, you could give these secrets away to people in value. Each week or every couple of weeks, you could send one out. How to get your kids to behave. So if you're into how behavioral, behavior of kids, how to get them to read or do whatever it is, you could say how to get your kids to behave in 2 hours. How, if you're a dentist, how I get children to want to brush their teeth in 48 hours or love to. 6 COD, 6 Call of Duty cheats that will make you the envy of your friends. So you can give this sort of stuff away depending on what your platform is and what your niche is. These things are really easy to do. Now, how do you find those? You just have to sit down. I just came up with those things literally within 10 or 15 minutes. So if you sit down with a pen and paper and say, what can I give away? What is it I know that I could actually give away that when someone opens their email, I go, wow, that was really cool. Or that was really nice. That was really impressive. That made a difference to me. Because here's the thing, by staying on people's radar, what happens is they start to wait and want for your emails to come in. And when they do drop into your inbox, they open them. Because if what's in, they say, oh, last time I got an email from Bill, he had this great thing. I open his email again. Oh, look, another great thing. And then another great thing. And then what happens is, and guess what happens? After the first 2 or 3 emails, guess what's happening? They stop reading the subject line. They just carry on opening them.
If I can just jump in, Mark, it is absolutely true. There are a couple of people that I've gotten on their email list, and the example was Sunday. He emails once a week on Sunday. All I look for when I'm looking is the title, which his brand is Recommendo, but he recommends several different cool things. I look for that every freaking Sunday. I don't read the subject line. I'm just like, click, baby. I am in. Whatever you got, I'm all over.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I have people who I actually don't know their names. I just know it comes in and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. Yeah. And then funny enough, when they say, oh, by the way, I've got this offer. And that's when you say, oh, by the way, I've got this offer. I'll have a bit of that. Thank you very much. Or no, I'm not right now. It just makes it a little bit more easier than just chucking buy from me, buy from me, buy from me.
Right.
And staying on people's radar is really important. Now, I'm not saying that you should send an email out every day or every week, but once you've got people into your list, send something out at least once a month, and you can always find something to send out to people. Sell out. You can always find something to send out of value on your business. If you can't think of anything, in our Facebook group, there's over 13,000 people, I think, something like that, who will help you come up with ideas.
Yeah.
We can help you as well if need be.
May I give a tip there as well? One of the things a friend of mine, Paul, has taught me, if you're in a group, like a Facebook group, and people are constantly asking the same question, pick those to send out an email about. because those are the very common questions. The how-to kind of thing that you were just talking about, those things are gold when you're stuck looking for something. Just go into one of your groups and pick out a couple of those questions.
See, this is a good question. This is something that Deborah's just said. Goes the other way too. I have people whose emails I stop reading and unsubscribe because they are always pushing the latest shiny object. I agree.
Yeah.
But if you're not pushing, and I think what Deborah's saying is agreeing with what I said. If you're not pushing all shiny objects every time, people will say it. And when you do deliver good stuff, you become what's the word I'm looking for? A person of authority. So when you do recommend something, or you do have something to say to sell to people, your latest offer, people will know you're not just in it for the money. You're in it for them as well as you. And that's part of the sending of the value emails. It's a two-way relationship. Most people simply think email is you just sending stuff to people. It isn't. Email is about explaining to people subtly in your content, I've got your interests at heart, and hopefully you'll have my interests at heart when I have something to sell to you. And if you do buy it, great. If you don't, that's fantastic. Right. And also you need to look at it the other way as well. If you start getting a lot of unsubscribed, that's brilliant as well. I love occasionally, I used to have massive email lists, and I would occasionally, if I'm in a playful mood, I would take a large section of it, send an email out to it, and I would literally, I'm going to horrify people right here now, sick and tired, and say, are you sick and tired of getting my emails? Because if you are, I want you to unsubscribe with a big button, click this button now to unsubscribe. Yeah. And guess what? I would get people unsubscribing. But you see, I want them to unsubscribe because I don't want people who don't want to be on my list. I want people who want to be there so that when I do send an email, my open rate is going through the roof. I'm not going into the spam folders. I've not got people saying this is spam. I've got people saying, hey, Mark, can I give you some money?
Hey, Mark. That's absolutely true. All of that's absolutely true. Go ahead.
There's a large thing here from Carla, which I can't read it because I'm speaking at the same time, and I'm not that skilled. I don't know what it's talking about. Have you read it, Mitch? Can you?
It's the question of open rates. I'm having trouble getting people to open my emails. What do I do? And what Mark is talking about is many of those things. If you're providing value, that works great. Now, if I just name Mark, part of
cool.
Just real fast, you've heard the phrase, the money's in the list.
Oh yeah.
What I like to say is that the money is in the relationship with your list.
Yeah.
If you're having a relationship which is providing value and getting people to reply back to you saying, hey, that's good stuff, I really like what you're doing, that's a relationship. That's what
I mean, the money's in the list was born out of network marketing.
Right.
The bigger your list, the bigger the opportunity of success. And I agree, the money is in the list. But there's also something else, and something that I once shared with someone, and it was like, the size of the list is vanity, the profit is sanity.
Nice.
Okay, the size of the list is vanity, the profit is the sanity. So when someone comes along to me and says, I've got 100,000 email list, I'm like, yeah, but how much are you actually making out of it, dude? What are you? Because if you've got 100,000, you should be making over 1 million, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just run a calculation over that.
1 million too.
If you've got, it's 1.2 million a year. So if you've got an email list of 100,000 and you're not making 1.2 million a year, you're doing something wrong. And that doesn't necessarily have to be your own product. It could be an affiliate product.
Right. It
could be 1,000,001 things. But I just want to get back onto a few other things, things that you can be doing. Because there's no, Mitch has got some samples and examples of emails he sends out post campaigns, not sort of like, hey, thanks very much for being in my my competition, but just emails, because don't forget, you might only run a competition once or twice a year. You might run a competition every 3 weeks or every 3 months. It doesn't matter, because UpViral is almost like a funnel for you. That what it's doing is creating these names, these email addresses, which are having an instance, whether it could be a 30-day campaign or a 5-day campaign. But then it's a matter of talking to those people onwards. So you need to have a process.
Yeah.
And you need to keep it simple. It doesn't have to be fantastically sophisticated. You can start making it tag managing and all that kind of stuff later on. In fact, if you don't understand it, if you start making a load of money, you can employ someone to do that side of it for you. But I would encourage you to start looking at sending value emails that you can send out to people based on what I was saying before. And if you want, I can actually drop some of these examples in. I'm just going to copy and paste these now. Come over here. I'm going to drop them in. Hopefully, have they all gone through? There you go. It's not done it as a bullet list. My apologies, but they are there as a list. And you can start sending them out. But I would also send out a slightly different value email as well. And this would be an UpViral value email. So what do I mean by an UpViral value email? Well, what I mean by this is I'm sending out my value emails every couple of weeks or every 3 weeks or 4 weeks to people. And I decide, okay, I'm going to run another competition next month. And let's just say, arguments say, I'm in the weight loss business. Okay, I'm showing people how to lose weight, whether it's a diet, exercise, doesn't matter. But let's just use that as an example. And I decide, okay, my next value email is going to be an UpViral campaign. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show people how they can eat chocolate and still lose 6 pounds in 7 days.
Nice.
Okay, so I don't know whether that's possible, but I'm sure someone is doing it somehow. I just came up with a headline. So I put the campaign together inside UpViral. I then send the value email out. Hey guys, I just got something I really want to share with you. It's how to eat cake and lose 6 pounds in 7 days. Check out this, and then put the link. The link goes to UpViral, goes to your campaign, and you enter. They enter it. They get the diet plan for 7 days, and then guess what? The more people, if they then invite another 5 people, I'll give you the 30-day eat cake platform and lose £1,000 or whatever it may well be. All of a sudden, my value campaign has just taken off like a rocket. And if each person, if I get 100 off my list, let's say I've got 1,000 and I only get 100 in, and they each get 5, all of a sudden I've increased my list from 1,000 people to 1,500 people.
Right.
So, and I only run it for 7 days. I've got 500 people in 7 days from my list, all brand new people. 500 people in 7 days. That, my friend, is a very powerful way to do it. And now I then start sending the value I sent to that initial 1,000 people. I start sending the value that I sent to them. I don't create new value. I just put them into the process, and they'll get email 1, 2, 3, which I wrote. I don't write new ones. They'll start getting the same path, because if those new people get exposed the same way the other 1,000 people did, in another month when I do another value UpViral campaign, now all of a sudden those 1,500 people go into it. I then get another 500 or maybe 1,000 or 750. Then the month later, instead of 750, it's 1,000. Then it's 1,250. So all of a sudden, so I would have my process of value, UpViral value,
right.
value, sell, value, UpViral value, sell. So I would have that. Does that all make sense to what you guys Does that all make sense?
I have
I'm sorry if I'm sat here rocking and leaning on a walking stick, but at the same time, I've also pulled my back out, which is extremely painful.
It's okay.
Sorry, Mitch.
We love you. I'm curious though. So what the UpViral value that you're talking about, many people out there in the marketing industry call a lead magnet, basically, but you're boosting it, accelerating it with the UpViral bonus on the backside. Now, you just said run it for 7 days. Why would you turn that particular thing off?
I wouldn't. I just said, because some people would be, well, why would you do it just for 7 days? I wouldn't. I'd probably leave it open. So I've now got a plan.
Right.
So my plan would be every month. Let's just say I intend to do this, and so let's say I do an UpViral value campaign every month. So I send out value, and on the 4th week, UpViral value, where they go. And then value, then another one, a different type of campaign for month 2, and then month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6. I would keep the one I did in January or this month. I would still keep that open, but I would fire the people who haven't joined yet into that. Then the people who join that, I'd give them month 2. So I would just simply loop everyone through the whole thing. And by the time I get to month 12, when I go into the next year, I will come up with something new. But those people who join new, I put them at the start and just push them through the whole process.
Right.
Because it's evergreen.
Right. That's the goal. And you don't have to keep writing stuff. I don't have to. I do it once and recycle. Yeah. All I do is one viral campaign a month, and there's cycle. Now, would everyone like me? Because I came up with this process. Would everyone like me to write this up in a what would you call this? A PDF. I'll call it a PDF. Would everyone like me to write this up with the game plan and how you do it and how would you like me to do that for you? Just give me a yes or a why if you'd love me to do that, and I'll put it together as a PDF document. Yes, please. Yes.
Yes. Cool. Awesome. I will do that. I will do that for you, and I will have it. What I'll do is I'll put that together for you because it's easy to show you. And even to be quite honest, if I was to show you here live on the screen, this is something I've just been speaking to some of my colleagues in UpViral. The problem is 80% of what I show you, I tell you now, or what Mitch tells you, 10 minutes after the show is over, it'll have gone.
Right.
So I think putting PDFs together so that you'll be able to see this and maybe a little video to accompany it, I'll gladly do that for you. Because I see it as a very, really most people, when they start engaging their clients afterwards, forget about how they can use UpViral to deliver value and at the same time kick their email list building, put rockets on it, so to speak. So every month it just goes wow. So you can actually cycle it through.
And that's the glory of UpViral. And I've talked about this before. You've talked about it. And even when I talk to people outside of this, I say, have you guys ever thought about doing a lead magnet on like a rocket booster and use UpViral? And they go, no, UpViral's for contests only. I'm like, no. What you guys don't recognize, and we've talked about this before, is that you can do lead magnets, you can do product launches. Wilco talks about that all the time, right? You can do webinars, you can do product waiting lists. There's all that you can do.
And you don't have to be doing, only do things you feel comfortable with as well. And what do I mean by that? You'll hear people say, "Oh, the way to make money online is do webinars," and it's like, yeah, webinars. Excuse me. Webinars do produce, and they are very, very good.
Yeah.
But I also know that the reason why people tell you that is so they can sell you a webinar course and webinar tools and all that kind of stuff. I know loads of people who hate going in front of cameras, but have got a really sophisticated, well, actually not sophisticated, but just a very simple process of sending emails out and make a ton of money, all by just sending a couple of emails out. So don't only play and do things that you feel comfortable with, because that way you'll do them. If I was to say to you and try and convince you, what you need to be doing is webinars, you'll buy into the emotion of it. But here's the big thing of it. Commitment is doing something long after you said you'd do it and doing it.
Yep.
You know, commitment is doing something long after the emotion in which you said you would do it has gone. So if I was to tell you and convince you to do webinars now, and you're all going, yeah, in 3 days' time, you go, oh no, I don't want to do that. So what I want you to do is I just want you to focus on doing things that you feel comfortable with. If it needs to be a lead magnet of 5 things to fix around the house for under $1, or some here's something I saw a couple of days ago, and a couple of weeks ago, and I've got hooked on this, and it's absolute. It's genius in its simplicity. It comes in on an email, and God knows how I subscribed to it, but I saw it, and then I thought, I wonder how that, I like to see how these things work. And it came in, and I was like, this is absolute rubbish. What have I signed up for here? This is crap. And then I went, hang on a minute, that could be useful. I clicked, and I clicked. And what it is, he sends out every week 20 things that'll change your life that's available for under $10 on Amazon. That's essentially it.
Right.
And what he does is he looks for things that have been purchased highly that are under $10, and he puts 20 of them together in an email. He's then got his Amazon affiliate link in it. The guy is making an absolute ton of cash.
Yep.
And all he's doing is he's sending literally just saying, and I'm like, this is genius what's going on there. So, that sort of thing, people consume this sort of listicles, I suppose is the term for it. So anything that you can put together, putting value out to people and then turning it into a UpViral value campaign,
right?
Which is a new term that we've just literally come up with during this show. It doesn't exist anywhere else. Terms and conditions apply, trademark registered, and all that kind of stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Checks will not be honoured. All the usual stuff.
Jen just hit the nail on the head, right? She says, I'm putting out painting tutorials in my UpViral campaign that people can unlock when they earn points, right?
That is brilliant.
Right? That's what we want you to do.
Because you know what? I've got addicted with. Do you remember the guy in the late 70s, early 80s with the white guy with the big fro?
Yep.
Paint along with whatever his name was.
I can't come up with his name either. But
I can't remember his name. All of a sudden, in the UK, his program has become very, very trendy. It's very. And I watch it. He's not back. It's the repeats. Bob Ross. Dead.
Bob Ross. Yes, thank you.
It. They're just the replays. I'm sat there going, God, I remember watching this episode as a kid, and it's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It is.
So, so how can you find these ideas? Where can you go to get these ideas? Now, I'm going to give you some tips and advice of where you can go and find all sorts of ideas on this. The main thing to do is you have to keep your eyes and your ears open. Literally, you have to become a sponge on this, and it's something you have to practice. And I've been doing it for years, and these are really corny, but they really do work. Don't throw your junk mail away. Keep your junk mail, because inside your junk mail, you will see people offering, oh, this is great value. Here's something free, and you look at it and go, oh, I could do something similar like that idea for my product. So make notes on your junk mail. Keep them. Get a ring binder. Yes, I do keep ring binders with my junk mail in them. I know. And I make notes on them. Sad. But there you go.
But I do that too to some degree, because
well,
I have taken flyers and stuff and put them here in a pile and gone. I can learn.
There's another reason that you should do that as well. Somewhere, a large company has paid some advertising agency a shitload of money to do that. You're getting it for free, and they stick it through your letterbox every single day.
Exactly.
So I love free stuff. I love free stuff. Also, another real corny one on, I do it, is watch infomercials. I know that they can be boring, but honestly, just when you get a chance and there's no one else around, because obviously people will think you're just a loon. I also record them. I think over in the UK you have TiVo or whatever. Record the damn things. They're normally on at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for lunatics and drunks and people working night shifts. But record them and watch them, because you'll learn so much. Because don't forget, these guys have a short period of time in which to grab your attention, and you will see them doing all sorts of deals and showing you how to do stuff. And you think, I could use that idea. You could still transpose it into an email. Also, the other thing is, follow your competition. Okay, follow your competition, and that competition doesn't need to be local to you. Find someone who's and look around. Does that, if you own, like we use that thing, I'm losing weight loss. Is there anyone I can find in America or in Australia or Germany in the same niche and follow them? Are they doing something that I think, wow, that's really clever what that person's just done? Now, and then I can take that idea, and I'm not going to say, some people might say that that's copying. No. I call that research.
Right.
Okay, it's research. You see someone else doing it, you basically adopt it, adapt it, and action it. So adopt, adapt, and action. So watch other people, what they are doing in your niche, because they might come up with a great idea and you think, yeah, it's okay. And then because when you see it, you'll go, wow, I can do a twist on that. So, and also register for emails from your competition.
Oh yeah.
See how they are communicating with theirs. Yeah, adopt, adapt, action. So and see how they because when when I ran the advertising agency, I was essentially the creative in it, and the client said, "Where do you come up with these ideas, Mark?" And it was like, "Oh, they just come to me." Well, literally, they do come to me. They come to me in other people's. They come to me by email, letterbox, TV. Nothing is original. Everything has been done before. The trick is, this is our stock in trade. If you think about it, this is our stock in trade.
Right.
And that is speaking to people and communicating and coming up with ideas. So hopefully some of that stuff has been helpful.
If I can, I could talk
for like 2 or 3 hours on this, but I just noticed the time's creeping up to 1:45.
Yeah, I know it always creeps fast.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have been doing for the last year or two, because the topic always comes up of, I don't know what to write in my email. So you want it to be personal, right? This is the nurturing part of building that relationship with your list. I went through some time ago and just wrote down a whole bunch of stories from my past, things that happened to me emotionally or physically or whatever.
Careful.
And you can take those stories and apply them to something in your business. You just can. You can always kind of twist them to say, well, this thing happened to me and this is the lesson I learned, and you can learn from it too. So if you're stuck, I just have this long list of stories that I can pull up anytime I'm stuck and go in and go, I can make a contest related email out of that somehow. So you literally will be falling over ideas if you keep your eyes, your ears open, and then act on them. You literally be running out of ideas. You'll never run out of ideas. If any marketer says to me, I've run out of ideas, I'm like,
No, it's impossible to run out of ideas. Absolutely impossible. In fact, inside UpViral, we have so many ideas. It's like, they have to fight to be actioned. It literally is. I kid you not. It's like, okay, here's a list of 10 things that we're going to do this week. They have to fight for, which ones are going to, they have to win the right to actually go out. You should never be running out of stuff. Look, Lauren says, do you consider sending someone to a free blog post as a C2? Yes, as a CTA in an email, a value email, or a sell. That is a value email. And here's the reason why I consider it. As long as they're going to the blog post and it is value they're going to have, now there might be a banner underneath it promoting something, but because there is a I hate to call it a trick, but there is a trick to this. When you send someone to a blog post psychologically, and if you say, hey, go and read my latest blog post about how to whatever, the very nature of saying blog post, psychologically, most people still consider blog post as being information, news, article, not buy, sell.
Right.
So if you use that type of phrasing, people are more likely to go to there. So I would see that as value. As long as what you send them to is value, but wrapped in some way in a proposition, either with another, your main call to action may be, hey, I just want to share with you how my experience is this is how I lost 20 stone, or I lost 20 pounds, and how I helped 5 people. And you give value, and then you say, hey, if you want to know more about this, I want to be on my 30-day workout, click the link below, which just appears, boom. So that is still value, but then there's a call to action on it as well. So hopefully that helps, Laura.
Earlier, Jen asked, falls right along with what you were just saying. Do you consider telling stories that relate to your audience as a way to connect? A good method. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially, she says, I've been sharing more of my story in behind the scenes.
Yes.
All of those are perfect. Absolutely.
The more you share of yourself, your wins and your loss, the more you become human and real, and the more that people will relate to you. And the more that, and here's an old saying, when someone has to buy from a friend or a stranger, they will always buy from a friend. Okay? And that is very true. It's an old advertising say, so you need to become friends with your audience. And the more of that friendship you share, I'm not saying you share them everything going on in your life or anything, but you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this is Mark in the shower this morning. God forbid you want to see that kind of thing. You draw the line at where you feel comfortable with doing, but sharing your ups and downs, and also simple things like, how many of you, once you've run a campaign, okay, you tell the winner they've won, but how many of you actually then tell everyone else once the person has received and say, oh, I'm going to send you whatever it is you won. Can you please send me back a photograph of you with it, and also a couple of lines of what you think about it? How many people actually then, after the campaign's finished and that's happened, actually do that? Can I have a yes if you do it?
I do, absolutely.
Because there's very few people that do it. Because what you've just done is you've just really done something very, very powerful. A, you've proven that someone gets your stuff when you run a competition and it's not made up. B, you show them having a good time with it, so that they say, hey, next time he has one of these, wow, yeah, that's fantastic. So again, it's reinforcing that value.
Right.
Where they value you because you're being, yes, he did say he would do that, and yes, he did do that, and these people have got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Linda says this is like postcode lottery marketing. I don't know what you mean by that, because there is a company over in the UK called Postcode Lottery. So if you're referring to that company, they are really, because again, I've been involved in lottery marketing, and I know how to pull those triggers big time.
Nice. One of the other things you just said, Mark, was about getting the testimonials. you can put those on the landing page for your next campaign, like down at the bottom that says, hey, look who's won these contests from me before.
Yeah, there you go. That's what Linda's just said. She's just qualified it. You get photos of them. So you can use them on your landing pages. You know, Bill, here's a picture of Bill. He won last month's campaign. So when they see that, oh, right, okay, Bill did win. Exactly. Here's Mitch winning his new mouse. Eek, eek.
Exactly.
Mm.
They always have pictures of people on the street.
That was what I was talking about.
Yeah. Is that postcode lottery? Is it
postcode
really a lottery?
Yeah. And it's to do with your postcode. Oh, you would refer to as the zip code.
Right.
I won't explain it, but it's very successful over here.
So may I ask everybody a question? How many times are you emailing your list a month? How many times a month are you currently emailing your list? Maybe I should say value, all right? But
no, doesn't matter.
I'm curious how many times you email your list. I happen to do once a week. Some people do a lot more. Some people do less. I'm just curious. Richard says not enough.
Not enough. Okay. 2 to 3. Just been out for a walk. Oh, sorry. Okay.
8 times.
8?
Way to go.
8 times a month. Cool. Is that Clive?
That's 2
as in Clive. Clive says 8x. Is that Clive that I know?
I think it is because he shows up every week.
I just wondered.
I think it is.
Lauren, 2 to 8, 2 per month. Okay.
Steve, well, we've only hopefully, Steve, after today, we're going to kick you in the patukas, and you're going to do a few more than that.
Yeah. So I'll put this flow together. It's more of a process than anything else. So we can then have this as a download next to this. Hi, Clive. Yes, it is. It is Clive Holmesman. Hi, Clive. How are you? And we'll put this together. Hopefully, I'll attempt. I can't promise because I need people to proofread it and make it all look pretty and everything, and then you can download it. What do you do with people that don't collect their award when they win? I don't know, Mitch. Have you ever had that instance?
Oh yes, absolutely. What I do, Lauren, is in the emails. So I send what's called a winner's affidavit. They have to agree to certain things at the end of the campaign. They have to agree to pay the taxes if there are any. That's their problem, right? That whatever is not my responsibility. They have to send me their email or their name to where to ship it to, and they have to send me a photo and a short paragraph saying they won. But I give everybody 3 days to reply to me. And I say that in the terms and conditions of if it's a contest, you get 3 days. If you don't reply within 3 days, I'm picking somebody else because I have been stuck in limbo waiting for people to reply, and it's painful. It's very painful.
There's a good tip for you. There's a good tip for you, everyone. Any other questions that I'm not seeing that you've seen, Mitch?
Now, if Lauren, if you're saying that they don't actually, I don't know what you mean by collect. If they don't respond to your emails, that's one thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're going to send it to them afterwards, so they kind of have to collect it, don't they? Lauren says genius. Thank you. So I guess what she was talking about is they don't. I hate getting stuck in that wondering situation whether or not people are absolutely replying or
maybe you can also put that together as a PDF that we can give to everyone next week. What is that your framework for getting in touch with the winner?
Winner affidavit, yes.
There you go. There you go, guys. We'll have that for you next week as well, with a checklist of what to do, what to say, and everything. Cool. Excellent. Any other questions? Just before we get crawling up to just 5 minutes to go, I just want to talk about next week's show. Do you remember last week when we did? So this is part of it. Today's is a part of a two-parter. Last week was the first part, how to engage people during a campaign. Today, how to engage people after a campaign. And also last week, a lot of you said it would be really cool if we also knew how to put people into the first part, how to get more people into the campaign so we can engage with them. And they were asking about how could we do this on Facebook? Well, I've got some great news for you. Next week, we have got our own 2 inside Facebook experts coming on this show, and they will show you a whole framework of how to set up ads with templates, the whole 9 yards of how to set it all up, make it something very complicated, very simple for you with a whole framework of how you do it so that you can start literally the following day or even after the show, if you so wish, how to actually start using Facebook ads to push people into your UpViral campaigns. Okay, is that good news?
Yes, awesome news.
Cool. I saw the itinerary. I asked the guys to put together the itinerary of the show. They gave it to me literally 2 hours before we came on air, and it looks absolutely kick-ass what they put together.
Great. I'm dying to learn that stuff myself. I'm not much of a Facebook ads guy, so. Michael has a quick question. How many rewards can you have in a reward campaign, and what do you suggest? I'm feeding that to you. The answer is unlimited, right? How many rewards can you have?
How many do you want? I try to keep it. If I have a rewards campaign, like a loyalty campaign, I try to keep. Too many is so overwhelming. So yes. I would say in a rewards campaign, I would have something like maybe six, something like that, and then add more to the stack. Because don't forget, once someone's in it, you can always put them into another campaign to get more out of it. You want them to be able to get a quick win as opposed to sit there. Oh, I really want that. Because the problem is, people do have a shelf life in a rewards campaign. They'll come in and they'll play with it aggressively for 2 or 3 days. So my attitude is, get them the win. Help them get as much of those prizes of what you offer as quickly as possible. Especially if it's like stuff that's not going to cost you money. Right. You're giving something away or something like that. Get them to it as quickly as you can, because then when you do an actual proper, what I would call a value campaign or another campaign, they will go into that campaign a lot more willingly, because they'll think, well, the first one I did, I hit it and I got there and I got the top thing really, really quick. If you make it that, well, I only got the first 2 or 3, screw it, and nothing happened, they won't go in your main campaign. So a reward and loyalty campaign, keep it low fat, don't have lots of rewards in it. Maybe something like, what's your birthday? Go and write, like this page, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, custom actions, those type of things that they can do, click, 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 boom, and get the reward, get the points and go, whether they do it in a day or 2 days. Then when you do another campaign, they're more likely to partake in it because they've had the win. Sorry.
Don't overcomplicate it is the key.
Yeah.
Don't put too many. I've tried that and it doesn't work. Peter wants to know, if you're running a campaign for a client, what's the best way to do this? Everything through their account or yours?
It depends what you're talking about. Are you talking about UpViral or Facebook? Because if it's Facebook, you do it through their account. If at the present moment with UpViral, if they've got an UpViral account, you do it in theirs. Excuse me. If they haven't got an UpViral account, do it in yours. Now, at the present moment, UpViral doesn't have a agency version, but we are baking an agency version as we speak. But don't hold your breath on it. There are more important things that are coming. So in answer to your question, if they have an UpViral account, do it in theirs. If they don't, do it in yours.
So we got I'm going to ask AJ's question. I know AJ and I are friends and we talk a lot. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you have an e-commerce site with multiple products, what ideas do you have for engagement?
Oh, damn. What product does AJ sell?
AJ is in the fraternity and sorority gadget business. T-shirts, mugs.
T-shirts, mugs. Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, what you could do is you could have a treasure hunt on the site. That's always a quick, easy thing to do. So I'll say somewhere on these pages, this is hidden, and tell them, here's on these 6 pages, there is something hidden, and click here, go and collect the points. Answer this question on this page, this page, this page. So, but then what you're doing is you're sending them to the product that you want them to buy.
Right.
So that's the easy, low-hanging fruit one that I would suggest.
And that's a custom action kind of thing, and we covered custom actions last week. So AJ, go back and watch that. Jen asked,
By the way, I'll state, just to let you guys know, we're slightly changing the Copilot show. Okay, ever so slightly. Let me just remind you. We'll probably do it this week, and from this week onwards, it will be working like this. Instead of the normal format of being a hard 1 hour, we're actually going to keep it still to 1 hour, but we won't do the Q&A, because sometimes we've got a load of things to say, but then we also have to do the Q&A, and then we leave when it gets to the top of the hour. What we've decided to do is to do the whole show an hour, and then when we get to the top of the hour, that's when we do the Q&A. So you'll get extra more time to ask your questions. So we'll do the whole so you get more value in the hour, and then you get the added value in the Q&A, which will be an extra, 15 to 20 minutes. It's not going to be one of those Mitch extra time things which go on for like 2 hours.
Okay. I'll learn to be short.
Okay.
Jen asks a good question. As we finish setting up our campaign, are we allowed to share them in the UpViral Facebook group to get feedback? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, please do.
And it's a great place to get feedback. Don't be frightened of it. It's thinking, I'm sharing all my secrets with someone. No. Trust me, even if there is someone in there who's got in the same niche as you, the likelihood that they have the same list and the same people is just ridiculous. So don't be frightened about sharing what you're doing, because if you don't share and ask enough, you don't get good feedback. So don't be frightened. Ask and go deep if you really want to. Don't be frightened of that one bit. And so what? If someone else copies what you're doing, brilliant. It's the best form of flattery.
All boats rise in a rising tide. If you work with somebody that's even in your same niche, I do it all the time.
Yeah,
it's easier. You guys work together. It's going to help you much more than fighting against each other.
Deborah says, "Is there a treasure hunt process doc?" No, I didn't come up with it. I don't think. I can't remember who came up with it. And there isn't really a process doc. It's more of a, I suppose we could put a document together. Let's look at doing that. That's actually, let's look at doing it. See if we can actually document that into some sort of a flow. Let's see if we can do it. I don't know how, but we'll see if we can do it.
All right. We are 2 minutes after.
Jen says, Deborah, I'm doing a hunt too. Okay. Well, maybe Jen wants to share in a couple of weeks' time how her hunt goes. Any other questions, Mitch?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay. Anything that you want to spend some extra time boomeranging back to?
No, I'm good.
Brilliant. I didn't want you to do that. So okay. Well, okay.
I mean, one of the things as an example, if you want,
quick thing to get out of the way while you think about that. Steve Thailand, whether that means he's Steve from Thailand or he's Steve Thailand. When does this video appear in the Learning Center? I missed the boat tonight. It's normally 24 hours after. We have one of our community managers. She downloads the video, gets it all converted and everything, and then she posts it in the Facebook group. She posts it on the YouTube channel, and she'll also then post it into the Learning Center for you, Steve. Hope that answers that question. Sorry, Mitch, carry on.
It's okay. We've talked about the Bunkie example a lot. And one of the things that David specifically does is that he runs after his campaign. He runs his campaign for 28 days or 21 days. But during the campaign, he tells everybody that there's going to be a sale immediately.
Yes.
And obviously he wants sales, right? And he is going to send emails to the people that have signed up for the contest about that. But it also gives him another chance to send emails to the people about what he's doing, give them value during that sale process to further convince them. Absolutely, you guys can run a sale immediately after a contest. Because I've seen people say, well, don't sell immediately after you've gotten people on the list. That's true. But David does it because he's nurtured them throughout the whole thing and told them there was going to be a sale.
There is a process to that, running the sale afterwards. Not only did Dave do it, but Gabe does it as well. So don't just think, oh, I'll go and do that. Okay, I'll do a campaign and I'll sell a load of stuff to people afterwards.
Right.
You have to set it up in the right way. And it is, last week, go check it out. We were talking about it. But maybe not next week, the week after, we can look at how to show you how to set a campaign up, which then actually transfers, takes people through a process so that they know they are entering a sales process at the end. Okay.
Right.
So there is a process and there is a flow in how you do this and how you talk to them so that they know that they are, because the last thing you want to do is run a campaign and everyone's all happy and everything, and then you try and sell something to them. If they are warmed up, it's the best way analogy here is, I'm sure you've heard this, it's the boiled frog scenario. It's like, if you take a frog and put it into a pan of hot boiling water, it'll jump straight out. But if you put it in a pan, a saucepan of cold water, and then turn the heat up very slowly, it'll just sit there until it's boiled. I used to use this a lot in our advertising, that what I call the boiled frog scenario. And it's the same thing if you're running a campaign that has got a sales event at the end. You have to boil them up, otherwise they'll jump out and won't buy.
Ew! Icky.
Ew, icky. Boiled frogs.
Deborah says, should I run a contest to win access to a course, then sell other courses after the campaign?
I've just got to go. This could be someone knocking on my door. I'll be back in a minute. If you could answer that, Mitch, I'll be back in 1 second.
All right. We're going way over. Are you priming people for doing this next week? Is that what you're doing? I see what you're doing here, Mark. Linda says, I got to go. Deborah, can I run a contest to win a course? Absolutely. Then sell your other courses after the campaign? Absolutely. But try to build some rapport and a relationship with your list by giving them value before you try to sell to them again.
But again, let's not lose track of what this was about today. This is about sending value out to people. And so keep that process going. And that, what did we call it? The UpViral value campaign.
Right.
So, keep that in mind. This is not about, can I sell this? Can I sell that? Can I sell this? What you should be thinking of, what value can I give? Can I give this value? Can I give this value? And then sell. So value, sell, value. Because don't forget, the problem with selling, as I said at the beginning, if all you do is ask people to buy, all they will do is go buy. So I'll put that process together for you. Now, Mitch, I'm going to cut and run. If you want to stay and chat to these people for another 10 minutes or 15 minutes, as long as you promise me you're not going to keep them here for another 2 hours. because it's just not going to be fair on them. Are you okay with that, or do you want to bring it to the end?
I don't see very many questions to work on, so people need
to
pile questions.
Let's ask people. People, do you? I'm going to go, and I'll leave Mitch here. Do you want to leave this open for another 10 minutes? Because it's 10 past now, and then we'll call it a day at 20 past. Do you want us to leave this open? In fact, I'll do that. And Mitch, if you want to close it, you close it.
Okay.
So I'll see you all next week. Don't forget, next week we're going to have our 2 in-house Facebook experts helping you out, sending you email. How to use? I'm starting to lose the plot now. My back is killing me. So I'm going to go, guys. I'll see you next week. Mitch is going to stay and answer your questions, and I'll see you.
Thank you.
I'll see you then. Okay. I don't even know how to get out of here now.
Just all you have to do is close the window that you're using.
Okay.
You'll go. It's all right.
It's okay. I'll see you guys. Take care.
Bye, Mark. All right. Steve asked the question, how about a 10% price reduction for a membership site for each share? Want to be careful, Steve, that we're talking about people who actually come in and sign up. So each referral, not each share. Yes, you can absolutely do something like that in your UpViral campaign. Those would be incentives. They used to be called rewards. They're now called incentives. But you can set them up in the first tab in the UpViral campaign to give somebody a discount for referrals. Now you have to manage or finagle the points in such a way that you know how many people have accumulated the right number of points to equate to a referral, but absolutely you can do that. It's basically, like issuing a coupon. The how-to side of that, you would probably just create a link to your purchase that has a coupon attached. So thank you for those of you who are sticking around. What recommendation, Gigi asks, would you suggest for a 5-day holiday sale challenge? You're putting a lot of words in there that are potentially confusing to people. What kind of a challenge, Gigi, are you talking about? And you're welcome, Steve. Are you actually talking about 5 days to better health or something like that, wrapped around a holiday sale? I'm not quite sure I understand what your process is supposed to be. Elke, I'm going back to Elke. Gigi, if you could give me a little bit more on that, I'd be happy to answer. If I am just selling a product, my value is just the goods. So, okay, maybe we didn't fully explain that. Let's go back to the Bunkie example, because it's something that you can get to. Oh, I forgot to give everybody the dadgum link. The link to any of the resources that we've shared for the Copilot Show are in that link if you click on that. So, Gigi, I see your comment. I'm going to get back to you in just a second. Elke, we're talking. Oh, let me go ahead and put the Bunkie case study thing in there. Bunkie case study. So this is the link to the UpViral case study on the Bunkie. Now, so if you're not familiar with that, it's a $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, depending upon which model you pick, small little log cabin kind of thing that goes on your property. People use it for weekend getaways, that kind of stuff. So what David does in terms of value is he shows people, like he's got some YouTube videos on his YouTube channel. For example, how to put a screen, because the Bunkie itself does not come with a screen for the windows. It's kind of a thing that he never put, I don't know. I'm not in charge. But he gives a video on how to put a screen on the windows. Not hard to do, but that's providing value on how to use the product. One of the other things that he talks about is how to use the bunkie, and I keep doing this, I don't know why, how to use the bunkie as a Airbnb. So you can have people, when you're not using it, have other people come in and pay to use it, and you could potentially actually make money on having one of these on your property. So when we talk about value, what we're talking about is some kind of information, potentially about one of your products, but you could also just give value to build a relationship, to tell a story about, for example, if we're still talking about a bunkie, about one of your clients, his clients, that bought one and put it on their property, and it changed the relationship with the husband and wife with their kids because they went there every weekend. That's value. It's talking about emotional connection to the product. It's not trying to sell you the product in the email. It doesn't say, hey, go buy this, go buy. What it says is, here's how it can change your life. Here's how it can help you serve your other people, how it can help you serve yourself. So any kind of value that is not specifically saying, buy my thing, but it's related to your thing. Tell a personal story about how you've used the thing. Tell them how to be able to do more with the thing. Maybe you're doing procrastination training and how they can improve their lives if they can learn how to procrastinate less. You don't specifically in the email sell them procrastination training. All right, let's go back. Hopefully that helps you understand the process of the value. Gigi, it is the holiday sales challenge is to help businesses get ready to sell for the holiday season. All right, good. All right. Challenges are a great way to use UpViral. I am working with several clients and a couple of my members in my members area to build challenges for their particular business. It's a great way, especially if you were like a coach or something, where you struggle necessarily to get people to buy your training program. Suppose you have a 5-day challenge to get people to be able to learn more about you as a coach, right? By doing a challenge, say the 5-day weight loss thing, whatever, or the procrastination thing. Maybe you have a course on how to be procrastinate less. And you give them a 5-day challenge to be able to learn a piece of the process of the bigger product. That's really what you're trying to do. So, for example, how to get ready for the holiday sale coming up. You can do a challenge, right, on, say, Black Friday. How to get ready for Black Friday, when your overall product is teaching them a lot more on how to do holiday sales processes in general. You give them a little bit of the flavor of what you're doing in the challenge, leading them to a sale on the back end. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. Deborah is trying to help Gigi. A blog post on holiday sales to help customers boost sales with a call to action to guide, report, and by the way, I'm going to back up a little bit. I am working on processes that I will not be just giving away here. I'm sorry, I can't give everything I do away. But I am creating processes to do challenges with UpViral, and it's really cool. So, Gigi, as Deborah said, a blog post on how holiday sales help customers and boost sales to a holiday sales guide, report, checklist in the 5-day challenge. Yes, all of that stuff would be very applicable to lead people into the 5-day challenge promotion, which then leads to the promotion of your bigger product. Steve said, selling a course on procrastination to procrastinators would be hard yards, would be difficult. Yes, I will agree that is a challenge, but there are ways to make that happen, especially if you give them a free 5-day challenge as an example, because this is the challenge idea is, and I know some people say the challenges are overdone and people are doing way too many challenges and this and that, but some people would also say Black Friday is overdone, right? Some people say Christmas is overdone. There's all kinds of things that are overdone, but they still work, right? That doesn't mean you give up on doing something because somebody says it's overdone. Challenges are a fantastic way to get people to understand you. I'll go back to an example. One of my members is a coach, and what she wants to do, or was thinking about doing, was doing a contest to give away her coaching. And the first question I always say to a coach is, I have a book from Tony Robbins over here. Are you Tony Robbins? And they go, no. I said, well, nobody knows who you are, right? And the vast majority of people say, no, nobody knows who I am. That's why we're in a contest, to give people to understand who I am. And how to get them into my training program or to buy my course, whatever I'm trying to sell as a coach. But I want to give away my 5 hours of my time. And nobody's going to sign up for that contest because they don't know what it is. And you can talk about the value. But if you do a 5-day challenge or a 3-day challenge, it doesn't have to be 5 days, leading into a contest where you're going to give away maybe your $1,000 coaching program, group coaching, training, whatever you're trying to do. But if you do a challenge for 5 days to get people to know just a little tidbit of how you can help them, because the key is people want the transformation. They know they don't want your coaching. Nobody wants coaching. I don't go looking for a coach 99% of the time. There are some where you would go look for a weight trainer or whatever, but you're looking for a coach. But most people don't go looking for the coach. They look for the transformation that the coach provides. And so if you can run a challenge that shows them a little bit of what you can do and how you can transform them, then they're going to be much more likely to buy on the other side. All right, does that make sense? That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about that entire process. It's really freaking awesome to be able to combine all of those pieces together into a bigger process. I'm not seeing any newer questions, so if you have any questions, I'm already over the 20 minutes. And Mark was making fun of me because I tend to do lots and lots and lots of conversations, and people ask questions and I just keep going. And so, yes, Jen says, what's in it for me? That's what people are asking. They're not asking to find a coach. They're asking for the transformation. So what I'm going to do, unless somebody throws in a question in the next 10 seconds, what we're going to do is we're going to cut it off and we're going to say, we will talk to you next week. We're going to have a Q&A session afterwards. I imagine that people are going to be really fired up from the Facebook segment next week. So thank you for tuning in. Deborah, you're welcome. Jen, you're welcome. I always love talking about this stuff. Stick around, follow me, and you will get a lot more from me, not only here on the Co-Pilot Show, but elsewhere. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again next week on the Co-Pilot Show.